way, the content it never stays. We're positive and uplifting. Once a week the scope's gifted. There's zero to fake, hydration like you shake. Don't focus on the day, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, don't make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, don't make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Now you go on the ground with no award toys. This culture meets the art, podcast with the heart. And the essence of the growth, the powers in the people. Without you we ain't equal, what we lack is ego. We're back now, so here we go, run the show like Arsenio. Episodic, our rituals, minds change to visual. Representation of our nation and its differences. Some explanation of our uniqueness and innocence. Mass media's intention is to desensitize. We raise the wise and knowledge is power. Without it we turn coward and proud of a known product. Like we could take it with us. I wish the greats were still alive and here with us, but it is what it is. We're left here to share our gift and that's precisely what we'll do with it. Shape shift and fluidly we can pass this test and still in our unity, elevate and express. Yes, MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, don't make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, don't make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. It's up to you. You got your torch now. MediaScope. We're here for you.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the livest media, tech, and pop culture show, in my opinion, in the land. This is MediaScope. We are all things media, tech, and pop culture. Who am I? I'm Dr. Tachi, of course. And I know you're saying, wait, last time you said you were on hiatus or sabbatical. I am, but I came off of sabbatical because we have an extremely special guest today. How could I not? Of course, I would have come back from any vacation or whatever for this. So let's say hey to everybody who's here. And if you're just here for the first time, I welcome you into the fold. Welcome to the MediaScope Massive. What I usually do is I give everybody a big hug because you could be any place else. You probably are working right now and not doing what you're supposed to do, but you're watching me, so a thumbs up for that. So let's get to it. If you've never watched this before, you could watch us now we're 6 o'clock on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn. 6 o'clock across the board because now Instagram is able to be part of this, and I am so thankful for that. And if you happen to be watching us on the tubing of the U, that would be YouTube, please make sure that you like and subscribe. You know, we're trying to build something over there. So let's say some hellos to some folks before we get to it. Shelly Shells is here over on the YouTube side. What's up, Shelly Shells? Happy Wednesday to you. And she said she's looking forward to an amazing show. It is going to be epic, my dear. And let's take a look. We can't pull up the comments on Instagram, so I'm going to have to read them. Randy, first of all, shout out to Randy because he is the reason that this interview is happening. It's all due to you, Randy. So I thank you so very much. So shout out to Randy. Diva Soulstar, welcome. Lala, how are you? And D Tuggle, what's up, D Tuggle? Our boots on the ground when the strike was on. Welcome. All Me Robinson, welcome. Bryson, how you doing? Lovey is here. Also Fantastic Records and Filmworks. Hey, how are you? DJ Crimson Cookie Soror, how are you? It is good to see you. And I think I got ACB Therapist, Zoila, how are you? Bestie, what's up, sir? Good to see you. And After Dark with Johnny Ray, one of my favorites. Creed is here as well. And people keep piling in. So I'm saying hello to everybody. And hello, whatever you are. Oh, Marissa Tigney is here on my personal Facebook page. So thank you so much for being here. All right, y'all. It is put in the chat how you're doing, put how the weather is. Let me know that you're doing okay because you know I actually care about all of that. And in the meantime, also remember, if you have questions for our very special guest, Stephen Hill, make sure that you put them in the chat. We will answer whatever. This is our conversation. It's not just an interview. It is a conversation. So make sure you put that in the chat. And without any further, Food Plane is here. He says Happy New Year, and he brought some cocktails. That's what I'm talking about. Hopefully our queen of food truckery will be here very soon. I forgot to nudge her to make sure that we have a special, a drink special or a food special for today. So hopefully she'll be here soon. And with that, guess what? How about we get this started? So we're going to bring on our special guest, Stephen Hill, right after this. Here we go. Sir, how are you?
The beats are nice.
Thank you.
I like it. The song was pretty cool too. I like that song.
You know, and that song was actually, there's a rapper friend of mine that I have. I said, hey, could you make a song for MediaScope? And he's the type of person, he does a live, you put words on the screen and he just flows off of it. So he's absolutely amazing. Shout out to Fabe for our theme song. How are you though?
Sing on the theme song. The theme song is dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Merry New Year.
You know what? And you didn't even know that I was African. So, you know, I'm kind of feeling that. Right there. Wow. Well, it is such a pleasure to have you. As I said, Randy is the reason that we have come together today. And I am so thankful for that. And we have a lot to talk about today. But I do want to mention this first. Today is significant for you, as if people who don't know, today is the last airing of Magnum PI, and so it's actually you know, interesting and significant that you are on the show today. So we'll get to that a little bit later, but I want them to start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about who Stephen Hill is.
Okay. Yes, this is significant. Well, let's put it like this: not last airing, last live airing. Right?
Last live airing, yes.
Last live airing here in the States, but I think we're normally about 6 months behind in other places, and we're an international show, so it'll be still some live airings in other places, but here in the U.S. Tonight is a 2-part series episode. So we got 2 hours of Magnum from 9 till 11, and that'll be wrapping up 5 seasons of Magnum PI. So for all of you that have already tuned in, thank you for watching. And for you that don't know it, you got a whole new show that you can discover and watch on streaming, or you can go buy DVDs or whatever. I still do that, even though I don't plug them in, but I do buy them. But yeah, so check us out. Come check us out. Yeah, thank you for the bigger screen. I'm like, I need some glasses.
No, we switch back and forth. We switch back and forth here at MediaScope, but I do have a question.
It's all good. I like it.
I do.
Yeah, you want to go to the beginning.
Yeah, I do.
So I'm gonna warn you. I like to go in circles. So you know, but
that's fine. Let's go to the beginning.
The beginning. So. Where do we start? Okay, when I was a little wee young lad. No.
See?
Basically, I grew up. My parents. My mother was from Durham, North Carolina. My father was from. He's from Birmingham, Alabama, originally. They both met in New York City. Had me, and split up shortly after a few years, like about when I was 3. And my mom stayed in Jersey. My dad stayed in New York. So I went back and forth from Inglewood to Harlem, and then from Willingboro to Harlem. Willingboro is in South Jersey, if you guys don't know, exit 5 on the Turnpike, close to Philly. So I've had a dual background, going back and forth my whole life in that way. And then after graduating from Willingboro High School, I went to Hampton University and did the HBCU thing at the real HU, you know what I'm saying? And then
look here now.
Well, you know what? It's not the real HU.
Because you all are Hampton Institute.
I concede we are not the real HU. We are just the best HU. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Because we have other people here, I'm going to act right. So go ahead, Stephen, continue.
So yeah, I went to Hampton, and at Hampton, I started doing a lot of modeling. I modeled for a gentleman named Ralph Reynolds. He had a clothing line called RP55 at the time. He's done Truck Fit. He's done these other clothing lines for rappers. Aku, I think it was. That was a T.I.'s thing, I think it was. And Truck Fit was Lil Wayne's clothing line. So he's done those things for a while, but I was one of the originators. I was one of the first models for RP55 while I was in school. And then I graduated and I started taking a couple of acting classes here and there. Didn't take it too seriously until my mother passed away. And I took it real serious and found this woman named Susan Batson, a homegirl, Kendra Reevy, AKA everybody knows in the industry as Binky, awesome choreographer, and now she's doing fashion styling. She told me I should take a class with at a place called Black Nexus, which ended up being with a woman named Susan Batson, and now Susan is my coach. She's Fantasia's coach. She's Oprah's coach. She's coached a lot of really good actors and actresses and singers. And now I'm here. I'm here on Magnum, and I'm here on The Color Purple. Yeah.
Well, since there were a few things that you had in common when I said, wait, Fantasia, when Oprah, and you all have something in common. You were all in The Color Purple.
Yes.
Let's talk about that first. I mean, I want to go back and talk about some other things, but let's talk about that first. Obviously, that's the thing that's on everybody's tongue these days. Talk about how you got to be involved with The Color Purple.
The cool thing is, for me, it was just a long time coming. It was people that I knew along the way. Blitz, I remember running into him all the time at Black film festivals. This is Blitz before he did Black is King for Beyonce and started to really make a name for himself. But, he's always been like a multi-hyphenate, extremely talented brother. He's a director, he's a rapper, he's a painter, he's an author. You know what I mean? He doesn't stop doing it. Like, he does whatever he has to do, but he does them well, which is awesome. And also a friend of mine, Destiny Lilly, is she's one of the casting directors, and she said, hey, there's I think I had already sent in my a tape and also headshot. I'm not really sure exactly how it went. Maybe she requested it, but either way, she said, hey, this guy's great for Buster. And, they actually hired a brother, and I really appreciate it. It's nice to be a small part of such a huge production. My version of Buster is slightly bigger than the original in the 80s film, but yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So how did you bring what you knew of Buster in the original Color Purple to this role, and how did you shift it a bit, or how did you change it?
One of my favorite moments on that set was there was a day when I had just been sitting in my trailer and just walking around for hours, and they never got to me. That happens on they might have to reshoot something, it can happen. You can be scheduled to be on a set and just wait around for 8 hours until they send you home, and you actually don't do anything. And it was one of those days. But Blitz, they said, hey, Blitz is looking for you. And I'm like, what? He's looking for me? What'd I do? Right? I'm thinking like, am I getting called to the principal's office? And then they said, no, he just wanted to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I hope they're not trying to cut my role or something, And then he knocked on my trailer door and he said, hey, man, I just want to apologize. We didn't get to your scene today. We're going to get to it tomorrow, something like that, he said. And we ended up talking for about 45 minutes. He used this whole lunch break just for us to talk about like the importance of the role and the importance of the film and how we both used to see each other in New York City, you know, how he used to sell mixtapes and, you know, you know, that sort of thing. And it was beautiful to sit there and kind of just reminisce with him, but at the same time, you know, doing a Sankofa thing, as they say, right? We're reminiscing on the past, but we're also talking about the future of this film.
Yes.
And I read the novel, right? I went straight to Alice Walker's words, and the Buster character in the book is there's a lot more going on with him. He tries to break Sophia out of jail and all this kind of stuff. So I had brought some questions about the book to Blitz, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, you're one of the only people that brought the actual source material to me." So I was proud of that. I was proud that the training that I had is, you know, I still use it, and I was just proud to honor Alice Walker's words in that way. And I put it on the screen. I put whatever I had on there, the small little bits. I threw in a couple ad libs too. You know, that's what I do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what did you do to prepare for that? I mean, you've been acting, obviously, but that's a very particular role. What did you have to do to put yourself in the mindset to be able to play that role well?
Well, you know, I'm gonna be honest. You know, I was on that set with Magnum PI getting canceled, and I was on that set with Magnum PI being picked up again. You know, right. And what people don't tell you about in this business is, you know, everybody gets to see the end result, right? It's like going to a restaurant and you only see the plate when they come out, right? Exactly. You don't see the sweat that's going on in the kitchen. You don't see, oh man, my order of chicken wings didn't come in, and you know, all these people ordered chicken wings. We out of chicken wings. You know, you don't see when the hard work, right? You guys just get to see the finished product. And there's a bit of mental anguish that goes along with losing a show. You know, you're around the same people for 5 years, cast and crew, and then a show goes down. It feels like you're just like being pushed out of an airplane, so to speak. And the color purple allowed me to come in for a softer landing. But in getting prepared for it, I was already in a strange place mentally, where I was both like happy and sad at the same time. And I would just imagine that that was probably a feeling of an African-American at that time, you know, where, you know, I was a prize fighter, so I had money, I had a car, I had nice clothes and that sort of thing. But you're still confined to this box where no matter how well you're doing, you still can't, you know, go into a specific store. You gotta kind of like shrink in the company of certain people, like you know, like they had to do in the actual film. So I think that being prepared for it was already there. You know, I just had to learn, you know where my lines were, know what I was in the scene, and really reading the book got me prepared for that. And then I worked out a lot. I was in pretty good shape then. I need to get back to that. You know, in pretty good shape.
Wow. So what did you have to do to get in shape?
I like to jump rope. You know, I go for walks. That takes a long time. That's like a really healthy way to do it. But I like to walk, and I like to jump rope. And then I always go to the gym. I don't lift heavy. I just, you know, just kind of get it in the gym. But it's really diet. That's my problem. I like to go to Jersey Mike's and get hoagies. Yeah.
See, yeah, I can imagine that would be a problem.
Yeah.
So
I'm back to strong Steve.
Okay, come on now, Strong Steve. Strong Steve with the fresh haircut. So we just
Oh
had a
yeah,
whole
yeah. My barber
conversation.
hooked me up. Yeah, my
He
brother.
lined up in it. You don't even see the chalk. Good for you.
Yeah,
See,
yeah. No chalk, no chalk.
no chalk. We just
Yeah.
had a whole conversation about this offline, so that's why I'm
Uh-huh.
bringing it up
Yeah.
now. So, folks, if you are just joining, thank you so much for coming. You are here for a great conversation. My guest is Stephen Hill. He's done so much, but most recently, we probably know him very well for Magnum PI and The Color Purple. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please make sure that you do. We do have some questions, if you don't mind, because I like to take questions
Oh
from the
yeah.
audience throughout. Is that
This is
okay?
pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Yeah, I like this
Well,
format.
thank you. I try to do something,
Yeah, yeah.
But now you're part of the MediaScope family. So letting you know you have a seat here anytime you want to come back.
Awesome, awesome.
So here we go. Let's see. Well, first of all, what you don't know is that we have a food truck. Is it imaginary? Yes, but it's very real to us. We call it the MediaScope
Okay.
food truck, and we have a special by our Queen of Food Truckery and Minister of Libation. New Year's special on deck: grilled fish, chicken, and or veggie special. See, there you go. She did it because you were talking about eating healthy. See, no Jersey
Okay.
Mike's.
Yeah, I missed out on my since I didn't go home, I stayed here for the holidays. I didn't get any I needed some black eyed peas, I needed some collard greens, and I don't eat pork, so I needed some catfish. Catfish my allergies. So
Yeah.
I eat pork because that's the pork of the sea, right? But I needed some catfish. I forget the reasons why you need those things, but that's the black tradition on New Year's.
Don't get me to lying. Maybe somebody in the chat knows
I think the
exactly.
collard greens are for money. The green is for money.
Yes.
And maybe the black eyed peas are for wisdom or something. Don't get me to lying.
So the eye, so you can see into the future. I don't. You see how I'm making up stuff now? Let me stop.
Yeah. You're just making it up.
But maybe somebody in the chat knows, and we can put it there. I know we have a bunch of historians here.
Okay.
Let's take some questions. So thank you for that. Let's make a Stephen Lee special, Serena, if we can. Let's do not Stephen Lee, Stephen Hill special, if we
Who's
can.
Stephen Lee? I'm like,
Stephen Lee. Okay, so it was an apartment building up the street. My sister used to live in the Bronx in Riverdale, and it was called the Stephen Lee. So I don't know why I was thinking about that, but yeah, that's Stephen Lee, and I don't know.
Riverdale. I'm actually about to come back and shoot a film with a buddy of mine. He's from Riverdale.
Really?
Actually,
Yeah.
There's a poster in here somewhere. I don't know how to get out of my own way. There it is. That poster right there.
Yeah.
He directed that film. A buddy of mine from Riverdale.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you're going to be in. That's one of your upcoming projects, then.
Yeah. I have a indie feature that I got another smaller role in, but it's cool. I get to come in and work for 4 days and then be done and come back to Hawaii.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's a blessing to work. That's amazing.
Yep. Yes, it is.
So let's see if we have a question. I know that DS, he is our resident question asker. No, it's not a word. I made it one. So the food plane, also known as DS, asks what inspired you to become an actor.
I think I just did another interview before you guys, and he said, "Where did you begin?" And I said, "I think doing the moonwalk, actually. I was the resident moonwalker in my house. It was always like, boy, do it. Let me see you do something. Do the moonwalk. Do whatever. Do some push-ups. Do whatever." And I just was really enamored with television and movies in a way that was maybe a little more profound than I thought it was. I would like act out stuff. And, one time I remember me and this kid, we were going to fight, but instead of fighting, we prepared. Like we went and trained, and then for like a month, and then when it was time to fight, we didn't even fight because we didn't know what we were fighting for, but that was from watching the Rocky movies. So I think I was always really inspired by movies, and then I ended up going that way because I didn't know what I wanted to be in life other than a director, because I was behind the camera. But then the modeling put me in front of the camera.
Well, you know what? I thought you were getting ready to say that you all prepared for the fight and you ended up having a dance battle instead.
Oh, no. That would have been cool too. because I used to dance. Like I was serious.
Okay.
I was the guy. Like when when you get the circle of dancers, I
Yes.
was the dude. I was one of the guys in the middle. And we had a rap group. Some friends of mine. We had a rap group when we were in the 7th grade, and I was one of the dancers. So
see, okay, so next time you tell that story, I want you to say you had a dance battle in the end.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. All right.
There you go.
We might have to embellish that a little bit.
Yes, yeah, I'm giving you permission to embellish.
Yeah. It was like like a breakdance kind of thing. Like,
yes, exactly. And then that can be your next film. All right. There you go.
Yeah, Beach Street, bring it
Beach
back.
Street.
Let's bring it back.
Breaking to Electric Boogaloo, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's see. I don't know if we have any questions. Lots of people watching over here on Instagram. Let me know if you all have any questions. But we have a bunch of New Yorkers. DJ Crimson Cookie is from New York as well, and she's throwing up the Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
Let's see.
Go. Hold on. Let's go. Let's go, New York. Let's go, New York.
See, you can't take New Yorkers anywhere. We all
can't be in New York and not have a Yankee hat ready to go at any moment.
I know. I'm ashamed. I don't have one, but I need to, expediently
you gotta
get
a
one.
Yankee. Don't tell me you don't got a Yankee cap now. Come on now.
I'm sorry. I'm too busy repping Howard University. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Well, where's my Hampton hat?
Oh, goodness, folks. You are in for a treat because we're going to keep going. I'm thanking all of you for being here. So just give me just a second, Stephen. I'm thanking you. For being here. Thank you so much. If you are just joining, let me tell you what you're joining into. This is a MediaScope. We are all things media, tech, and pop culture. My name is Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and this is a special episode of MediaScope. We had braked. We went off for the holiday, and now we're back for one very special episode, and then I'll go back on hiatus again before we start up season 9. But that's me. And our special guest today is Stephen Hill, and we're going to keep having conversation with him. Thank you so much, everybody. Let me take a look again and see if we have. Okay, so DJ Crimson Cookie talking about on Instagram, I believe she's talking about The Color Purple, and she says she's seen it twice and she loves it. So shout out to you, DJ Kurt. How are you? Welcome. All right, let's put us both back on the screen. And let's see, Chocolate Baby, welcome. DJ SK, thank you for being here. Instagram, let me know if you have any questions, like put a Q so that I can easily spot it. But you're welcome to keep talking in the chat. That's fine. And Randy, thank you again for coordinating the interview. All right.
Yes,
so
thank you to Randy. Thank you. That's my guy. He's such a good guy. Thank you to him for putting this together. He chased me around for a couple of weeks too, so he put in a little bit of work. So we might have to cut Randy a check.
And the thing is, he didn't tell me. He just he said, "Did you go to an HBCU?" I said, "I did." He said, "Okay, I'll tell you why I'm asking later." I said, "Okay." So when all of this came through, he told me. I said, "Wow." This is absolutely amazing. So, I mean, you can't tell me that you can't make good connections and good friendships online, because you absolutely can. We've never met in person.
Randy's the man. Randy's super cool, and he's cool with another guy of mine, a homie of mine, Tuffy Questel. And
Tuffy,
Tuffy has, man, I owe so much to Tuffy, man. He was the guy that would hire us back in the days. Like those early, like extra roles, or under fives, or no lines, just kind of just being on a set. When you needed that $100 for the day, $200 if you got lucky with a little bit of overtime. Tuffy looked out for that, and I really appreciate him. And he's a cool friend. He's a friend of Randy's as well. But I thank you for talking to me in the middle of your sabbatical. That's awesome.
What kind of person would I be if I said?
And anytime somebody wants to sit down and talk to me, I value the fact that somebody wants to do that. So thank you.
Well, no, absolutely. Well, I value you because there's someone of your stature. It would have been very easy for you to say no. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I do. So I really appreciate when anybody comes on the show, but especially when someone who really has a lot to do and a lot going on says they'll come on. I'm very appreciative. See, now nobody can tell me anything. You've been on the show. So.
Yeah. Hey, I got some things going on, but I'm no Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. I'm a little bit more available.
Whatever, but you're Denzel in our eyes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's see. So we've got a question from Bryson. Hey, Bryson. He says, what is it like working with Jay Hernandez?
Jay, I like the way you put a little Jay Hernandez. You put a little.
That's how you gotta speak Spanish. You gotta say it right.
I haven't been home. I haven't heard that in a while. Jay, what is it like working with Jay Hernandez? You put a little. Me and Jay would laugh at that. Jay is first of all, let me tell you, I am eternally grateful for Jay because Magnum was a big break for me. And, I could, if I wanted to really ask my pops for a serious loan, I could have, but I came out here to shoot this pilot and I didn't have money to move in after we got picked up. I didn't have money to move into one of those expensive high rises that everybody was moving into. And Jay had an extra room. Him and Zach Knighton, who plays Rick on the show, were roommates. So they had a 3-bedroom and they let me stay in the guest room for a little bit until I can get that first paycheck. So we all got really close. Me, Jay, and Zach, and then Purdy, she started coming over too. And, when in New York or LA, you work on a set, you go home, right? You go, you could be in LA and somebody will go to Burbank, somebody else will go to East Hollywood, wherever anybody lives, somebody will be in the Valley, somebody will be, wherever. And, but here in Hawaii, you go from set back to, your home away from home in Hawaii. So we all lived in that same apartment. And then when I moved out, I still lived pretty much right around the corner from everybody. And, we got close, you do a lot of barbecues, you have a lot of dinners together, days off, we go surfing, we do all that kind of stuff. So I got, Jay's a friend of ours, he's a friend of mine. And, when I'm in LA, I hit him up and we try to link up and, hopefully, we'll maybe do something here in Hawaii again soon. You never know.
Interesting. So you've obviously been in Hawaii for how long have you been in Hawaii now?
I've been here for 5 years.
For 5 years, okay.
Over 5 years. It's been 5 seasons, so I guess around 5 years, yeah.
Okay. Because I know sometimes seasons and things overlap, so I wasn't sure how long you've been.
Yeah,
there.
and then we had a big hiatus with the strike too, and I stayed for all of that. So I'm it could be a little over 5 years actually.
How was the adjustment to being there? Or was there really an adjustment period?
I think I was just so excited to be here that it wasn't that hard. The adjustment part is that whenever you have a level up in life, and it took me a long time to level up. I guess it did happen when I went from high school to college. Okay. But whenever you level up in life, it's like certain friends fall off, right? And they fall off not always because you want them to fall off. It's just you get busy, they get busy.
Right.
And then sometimes it's more intentional. Not everyone is happy for your success, right? They feel like they have an entitlement that they should be where you are. Why did he why did his ship take off before my ship took off? That sort of thing. So that's the hardest adjustment. And then the time difference being either 5 or 6 hours, depending on whatever the daylight savings is on the mainland, because we don't have that here. That gives you a small window to stay in contact with people, especially if you're on the East Coast. So that's a bit of an adjustment. You know, you end up not talking to people as much.
We have some more questions from our audience. So again, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. I am happy to answer. Jeff Johnson is here. What's up, Jeff? Ann Ellis, how are you? I see you. Mike Latona, who I went to high school with. Hello, Mike. And Christine Heyman, it is good to see you. Serena Lowe in the ATL, it is good to see you as well. Serena says, shout out to Tuffy. Yeah, Tuffy, if you happen to be watching, shout out to you, Tuffy. You're amazing. D asks, how was it working with Perdita Weeks and being directed by her?
Purdy, it was great working with Purdy. I used to be afraid of working with Purdy a little bit when we first started.
Why?
Yeah, she talks so fast. And my character and just who I am, I talk much slower, more kind of drawn out. And, you know, the way I even approach my work as an actor on the script is I don't want it to ever sound like I'm just like boom, 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 boom. Because then to me, it's like I'm not thinking. And when people talk, you think. But there's a thing where on television, you almost have to be really fast because you got to squeeze in so much into this little bit of time frame. So, but I'd rather have them cut that out as opposed to me doing it. You know, they cut some of the air out sometimes, but I like to have that gravitas of having the air. But her speed and her cadence is way faster than mine. So I used to be a little slightly intimidated by that. And then being directed by her, she was fast as well, you know. And I think it's because when you get your first opportunity to direct, there's something that we learn. And I learned just from watching all of them direct. And I was gonna try to put my feather in that directing cap, you know, once we got a season 6, but we ended up not getting a season 6. But watching them direct, you realize you have to make your days, right? Like you don't want to miss a scene and then you have to pick up another day or something like that because it gets pricey. And if you're not an established director in the industry, nobody wants to pay another $200,000 for you to pick up another day or another 100,000, 300,000, whatever it may be. So you end up really looking to complete your days. And we have some very ambitious days, like, you know, where we have, I think one day we had Purdy like 14 pages on one day. That's incredible to give to a new director. So she was able to hold her composure and not lose it. And I think that's because she's always on set anyway. So it was awesome to be able to work with her. And it's just nice to have a woman director because they have a different sensibility about them.
We'll talk about that for a minute. When you say different sensibility, what do you see are the primary differences between women directors and men directors?
Well, I'm working on script for some stuff now, and I have I want to say he's my writer. I hate when I hear that, when people say my actor or my writer. You know, we're working on this as a collaboration, and the thing about working with him is it's another guy, right? So we got two guys, the input of two guys, right? And this world is not just, you know, contrary to popular belief by James Brown, you know, it's not just a man's world, right? It's, you know, women are pretty much the anchor to everything. It's the reason why we do a lot of things. So I like to get a woman's perspective on things. And I just reached out to a buddy of mine, Kiara Jones, who I've been in almost all of her films. She went to NYU and she's a great filmmaker. And I had to send some stuff her way to get her input, and hopefully have her in the writer's room if I get a green light on this thing. It's great to always have a woman's perspective.
I think so too. Thank you for co-signing on that. Fantastic. Okay, so we do have some more questions. Well, first of all, our query as to Black Eyed Peas, it has been answered.
Okay. What's up?
Black Eyed Peas are supposed to bring you luck, and Shanta says the same thing because we were sitting up here making all up. Well, I was making up.
What about because it's supposed to be pork, right? Black Eyed Peas, collard greens, maybe rice. I don't know.
See, now you're adding in things. Who said rice?
Yeah, I don't know if it's right, but it's definitely supposed to be pork, Black Eyed Peas, and collard greens. And okay, now we know Black Eyed Peas is good luck. So Black Eyed Peas, good luck. Greens are definitely money, I believe. That's the green. And then we got to figure out what the pork is. And I know the substitute for pork is the catfish.
Okay. Right? Well, somebody who is knowledgeable, Miss Elise would probably be the one to know. So Miss Elise, if you're around, please put that in the chat. And I'm trying to catch the comments. And over on Instagram, Bestie says, congratulations to you for your role in The Color Purple.
Oh, man. I'm so blessed to have that opportunity. So blessed.
Absolutely amazing. Okay, so before we go on, where were you when you heard that you got that role?
What was I?
At Jersey Mike's?
I was on set. No, I wasn't on. I was on set of Magnum.
Okay.
Found out that I got that role, which was really cool. Things work out the way they're supposed to, and I think one of the things that helped me get cast in that, on Magnum, I had to shave. Right, we do these. I play a Marine on the show,
right?
And
TC.
we have to shave whenever you wear dress blues, right? And so we try to get around it the first time. We were told that, you guys don't have to shave. Your special forces, you're no longer in the service. There will be concessions made for you guys. You don't have to shave. So I said, okay. So I didn't shave because the viewer doesn't realize your hair, at least my hair doesn't, Zach's hair, he has a full beard in 3 days, but mine takes a good month to really come in. And so after you shave, it always happens this way. You got to go back and reshoot something else where you had a beard. So then they got to slap this fake beard on you. They've done a really good job at it because nobody's called it out. Nobody said, yo, that beard looks weird, So nobody could see the fake beard when it was on a few times. But yeah, I think I got the call when I was on Magnum, but I remember sending in a photo and saying, this is me. This is how it would look because it was shaved and I kept the mustache. So I had the little mustache and I was shaved and I got a little butt chin under here. So I think it made me look more like the character for The Color Purple. And I ended up getting the job. So
that works. Cool beans. So Derek asks, what got you your SAG-AFTRA card?
Ooh, it's weird. So I remember, one of the times it was Tuffy that it was, I think he got me on this show, Johnny Zero. That was it. It was Johnny Zero, not the cartoon Johnny Bravo.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
I have a stepbrother that he put me on to that. I got one waiver on that. I got a waiver on not Clockers. what's that other Spike Lee movie? 25th Hour.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
25th Hour. I got a Taft Hartley on that. I got a Taft Hartley on Johnny Zero. And then I was doing a play at the time in Mount Vernon with Dana Hubbard called Every Dog Has His Day. And it was the first time I was really a lead in the play. And I wanted to take it so serious. I told the guys, I was like, yo, I can't come and do extra work again tomorrow because I have to be at rehearsal for this play. And I only needed one more waiver. And I could have told him, like, look, I'm not coming to the play, but I felt like, I was like, oh, that would make me a bad actor if I don't go to the play versus get this waiver. And then it took me like 3 years to get into the union after that. You know, I could have been in the union earlier if I had actually gotten that waiver. But it worked out the way it was supposed to.
Things always do work out the way they're supposed to. So fantastic. All right. We have this just in. This has become the theme of this thing. So apparently you were right for the greens being for money. So
Okay.
Greens are for money. The black eyed peas are for luck. And we're still waiting to find out about the pork, I guess. Shanta says another acceptable substitution is cabbage for money. So there we go.
Cabbage. That's what, remember, people used to call it cabbage.
I don't, but
that was
thank
a
you.
little slang at one point. Yo, you got the cabbage. But it was also, then cabbage ended up being like a thing where you get like shot in your cabbage. So your head became your cabbage. So I don't know, you know how slang just moves around.
Yeah, and that must be super regional because I don't remember ever hearing that.
It's a New York thing. It's a very New York, the cabbage.
Clearly not an upstate New York thing. Okay. Because I remember hearing that. Wow. Interesting. All right. So you played Jackie Robinson at one point. Am I correct?
Yeah, I did.
So the food plane has a question. How did you prepare for the role of Jackie Robinson?
That was interesting. That was fun, man. That was back when I really felt like I was going to have these opportunities. When, I wouldn't say I'm jaded, but I think I just have a different sense of the reality of the business now. But that was when I thought I was going to get all this character work and, all of this stuff. And I remember watching movies with Jackie Robinson. He has this movie that he plays himself in, actually. And I watched a bunch of, I watched documentary on him. I watched movies on him. I watched interviews. And I did this thing where I would just close my eyes and listen to him to get the cadence of his voice. So, and then I did this other thing where I turned the volume all the way down and just watched him. And in the movie, there's one little scene where it's kind of a wide shot and he's walking up to Ruby Dee, who plays his wife. And I noticed he had pigeon toes. And I was like, oh, that's why he looks like he's walking like with this little like strange gait. And it was the pigeon toes. So between his voice being very high pitched, kind of nasally, like, hi, I'm Jackie Robinson. I want to tell you about the time I played for the Dodgers. It was a great time playing for the Dodgers. I love playing for those guys. And my manager, Branch Rickey, like, he really has this crazy voice. It's almost like the first time I heard it was like hearing Mike Tyson for the first time, right? So it was studying his voice, but then studying his physicality. And I remember I went in for that audition, and I think I did a great audition. And I don't necessarily normally feel like that after an audition, but I remember when I walked in, I heard the director's wife say, look at his feet. Look at his feet. And they saw that I was coming in with the pigeon toe, and I'm not naturally pigeon toed. So that was kind of how I got prepared. And then I was told we were going to shoot this thing. It was a documentary. We were going to shoot it in 2 weeks, and they crunched it and put it into 4 days. And it was probably the most difficult thing I ever did because I'm the only actor in it. and I did 80 pages of monologues basically. And I honestly, I don't even know how. I still don't know how I did that. I didn't have no idea how I did that. But I thought that was going to prepare me for playing Jackie Robinson later on down the line in like a 42, which ended up being Chadwick Boseman playing that. Because I knew whoever played that role was going to excel, because Jackie Robinson is one of those figures in America where they make everyone will love you from it. Like, he's not a polarizing character. Black community loves him. White community loves him, right? So if you attach yourself to that, I was just saying that to someone the other day. I think that's one of the things that made Angela Bassett's career go from here to here, right, to the stratosphere when she got to play Tina Turner, because Tina Turner is loved by the Black community. And then, she went, instead of just going R&B blues, she went this rock and roll way that made her audience bigger and more international. And Angela Bassett playing that role, catapulted her career further. So I knew whoever played that Jackie Robinson role was going to take them in a great direction. And I played him, but I played him in a small documentary. But we won awards, and it gave me a lot of confidence as an actor.
And I do want to talk about some of the awards, because you are an award-winning actor, but you put something out there, and I want to get your take on this. Do you think it's necessary to take on roles that have crossover appeal in order to catapult?
I like to play it safe in these auditions.
Well, I mean, you don't have to.
Honestly, you have to be. I do a lot of these little interviews, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say little interviews, because
I know what you mean. Yeah, no worries.
Everything is important. I hate when people say that to me, because I get that all the time. Oh, I say your little color purple. It's like, hey, look, what I'm saying?
But I know you didn't mean little. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I do a lot of interviews, and what ends up happening is I'm always like, did I say anything? Did I say something that can get me canceled? Did I say anything? You know what I mean? Did I say anything controversial? I hope I didn't. I hope I wasn't running my mouth. That sort of thing. Because you got to be careful these days. People want to find a reason to hate you, so I don't want to do that. But I will say, there is such thing as a crossover appeal, and the best places to be is where you get love on both sides of the spectrum. But there are more people outside of the Black community, and I think that is a lesson that I learned in Hawaii, a very valuable one, because I went HBCU, Hampton University. My high school in Jersey was maybe 80% Black. Obviously Hampton is about 95% Black, right? And then I was living in Harlem, and so I'm used to being around Blackness, right? All of the Black film festivals I've frequented those. The award winning is me winning Best Male Actor at American Black Film Festival in 2010, right?
And not to interrupt you, I was actually there when you won
what?
it.
That's crazy.
I live in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, and I usually am at ABFF every year. In fact, that year, I think I was actually reporting on ABFF, so I remember you winning.
Wow, me and Emiyatsi Coronel.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, and then her career took off, and I was still trying to do short films, for like 3-4 years after that.
But everything is experience. Go on.
Yeah, it is. I mean, all these films I did, I hold them in a very high regard, high esteem. But yeah, so what? Hold on, I got off on a tangent. Where was
that? Was me. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I was talking about so what I learned in Hawaii is the things that I thought were universal to everyone, because it's universal to me and my Black experience, are not universal across the board. And I think this conversation that is being had in regards to pay disparities, I want to be careful about how I say this, because one should be careful about how they say this thing. It's not something to just kind of blurt out there, because what will happen is you can galvanize a community into thinking that it's one way when it's actually not that way. And I started looking at numbers for the first time on this show, because numbers depend on whether your show gets canceled or doesn't get canceled, right? And just put it like this: if something is extremely popular in the Black community, that does not mean that those numbers are high. I'm not saying no names, because I would work on whatever I need to work on to further my career and to help me amass, my savings for my family, my future family, So not to frown upon anything, if you're lucky to be in a network show, primetime, like Magnum PI is, and the trade-off a lot of times is those shows aren't always held as like an award-winning kind of show. It's more of more like a break from reality kind of thing, where Magnum PI becomes a show that people can just enjoy and escape reality, right? It's not it's more like reading the comics instead of reading the editorial. You know what I mean? So we have a good time over here, and as it should be that way, people get to escape to the island, so on and so forth. But a lot of shows that might get more acclaim, that doesn't mean everybody's watching those shows.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
You might think that because your conversation in the Black community is everybody's talking about a certain show.
Right.
And then you look at the numbers and you're like, wait a minute, I thought everybody was watching this show. And then you ask the white community, they're like, nah, what are you talking about? They may not even know it exists. I've met more people here in Hawaii that have never seen Coming to America than I would have ever thought. Now it's to the point where if I talk to somebody and they saw Coming to America, I'm surprised they saw it. Really? Yes. Wow. And that's how crazy, there's a big world out there, and it is not all Black. It'd be fun and interesting if more of it were Black, actually. And it is. We're not a minority, but in the scope of things, in terms of us being brown people all over the world, brown people are not the minority as they like to call us. Not at all. We are not. We are actually a majority of people on the planet. Correct. But in terms of our African American experience, we're not as big as we sometimes think we are. And that was a lesson that I had to learn.
Absolutely. And like you said, if you are constantly surrounded by people that are just like you, of course you think that everybody knows X or everybody knows Y. But the reality is, I was highly offended when I was going to, because I actually did my graduate work at Howard. So when I told people I was going to Howard, they were like, where's that? I was like, you don't know where Howard University? Yeah. How dare you? Yeah. Although I still don't give a pass, but they are in a very small bubble, just like a lot of us are. We are in small. And
then the social media is not helping us. It's keeping us even in more of a bubble. Whereas before we had to find our information from the newspaper and magazines. We are not reading newspapers and magazines the way we used to. Correct. So now we're dependent on these algorithms that move us into these boxes very easily. And we're scrolling and we think that this is the world's reality. And it's actually our catered to and fictional in a way reality. And we have to be careful or else we'll believe that that's actually what the world really is, and it's not. It's
Absolutely.
just not.
Absolutely. Well, we have special guests in the audience. Guess who's here? Tuffy has peeked his head in. So
What?
Tuffy is in the audience.
Oh man, let me find out. I know who. I know Randy put Tuffy up to it. Randy probably hit him up like, "Yo, Stephen Hill showing you some love on this show." Yeah,
Listen,
tough man. We love you, man. I love you, man. I don't know if you tuned in earlier. I just brought it back to the days of being on like Johnny Zero, and that was my second Taft Hartley, and the one before that was on the first one I got was on 25th Hour, and I remember those days, man. You were the one that made those kind of things happen. I'm really glad though. We were against each other for something. It was me, you, and Rolando Boyce. We were all about to get. They were trying to see who was going to be in that R. Kelly trapped in a closet, right? Who was going to be the preacher role in that joint? And I'm glad I didn't get that. But Rolando Boyce got it though, and he's a cool dude, man. I met him the last time I was last summer when I was in LA, and I love The Chi. I love The Chi. And if anybody doesn't watch The Chi, you should watch The Chi. That's what I want to start doing. I want to start promoting stuff that is not me, that's not mine. And that's the only power that we actually have in the industry, and we don't exercise it. We don't decide whether these movies get made. Typically, we typically can't hire somebody unless we're like a toughie. And we're not in that position. If we're an actor, we're not in a position to hire our friends and put them in the movie. Even somebody as big as Eddie Murphy, I guess he could put Arsenio in a movie, and he could put his other guy, Sweets. The guy that plays Sweets and we hooked him up a few times. But it's really hard for us to exercise any power in this industry. So the small power that we have, we don't exercise it because we don't promote each other. We only promote ourselves, and it's just so lazy and boring. If I have all of these Magnum fans, and I know that I got dope friends that are actors, why wouldn't I say, yo, go see their stuff?
Absolutely.
And now they have an audience. But instead, what we want to do is we want to do the foolish thing of, you can't sit at my table, right? It's lunchroom politics, I call it. You can't sit at my table, and then at that table, they're playing musical chairs, a vicious game of musical chairs, like boom, like pushing each other out of the way. So it's just like this ugly thing that we got going on. We won't even follow each other on Instagram, and we don't own Instagram. All them followers, if tomorrow Instagram said, we shutting down, or Elon Musk comes and buys it and says, you know what, everybody has 0 followers again. And that's what it would be. But we have this opportunity to say, hey, Steve Hills in Magnum PI, check him out. Or he's in The Color Purple, check him out, and the people that do it are the fans and your family, but the actors that have a somewhat of a following, they don't do that. And it's corny. It's corny. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to be honest with your viewers. A lot of these actors are cornballs. And I'm just going to be straight up. Like, they're selfish. They're cornballs. They're not team players. You tell they never played no sports in high school. And even though I wasn't really a super sports guy either, but, they're really not as cool as y'all think they are. They're not. And you can tell by their pages. Just look at their page. Look at their page. If their page was a magazine, would you want to read it?
Excellent point. Excellent point.
What up, Tuffy?
you see, Tuffy.
What that dude, man.
Tuffy is absolutely amazing. Thank you for stopping in, Tuffy. So we are out of. I could talk to you all day. Honestly, I mean,
I said something real. I normally play it real safe because people can take stuff out of context, and somebody will take a clip. Somebody will be like, "These actors are corny," and that'll be the clip. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. No, I know.
It's like you got to just play nice all the time. But I just gave y'all a gem.
Absolutely, no. But you're real, and I think that we all appreciate you being honest, straightforward, and real with us. Nobody wants the sugar-coated rubbish that is often spewed out. So we really appreciate this. I appreciate this for the viewers. Before we, because I could talk to you all day, but I want to respect your time. I do want to get out a few of the comments from Instagram. Evolving Always is here. How are you? She says she loves your attitude. Meek Styles, what's up, Meek? Loves the sweatshirt, and she wanted one, but it was sold out.
No, it's online. I got it online.
Is it online now? Okay.
Yeah, I got it not too long ago. It's not sold out. You can get it. You can get it online.
Perfect.
I got the whole sweatsuit, and I got it on with cowboy boots. Can you believe I wore a sweatsuit with cowboy boots today?
Listen, if nothing else, you showed that you support. If Steve will before you, who be against you?
Her name was Meek Styles, so she's probably a stylist. It's not.
She is.
It's not the cinched bottom. It's the straight down bottom, so it kind of works.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. No. But you look amazing, and the haircut, like I said, fire. There you go. Also, let's see. We have. People are still talking about the spinach and the broccoli and the cabbage. They're looking out for us in these meetings. Definitely.
We got to know what the pork is. The pork and the catfish.
Let's see. Arlesia May says black eyed peas resembling coins signify potential monetary windfall. Greens, collards, mustard, or turnip greens, and cabbage represent the green of dollar bills, promise you a financial. Nobody seems to know what pork is. And if maybe I'm just missing it. Let's see. She also says pork, whether used to flavor the Hoppin' John or greens, symbolizes forward motion or advancement in the upcoming year.
Hoppin' John, whoever that is, that's a black historian right there.
That's Arlesia Mays.
That is a whole nother century. Black people don't eat Hoppin' John no more.
Exactly.
Hoppin' John. Boy, go there, fix me up some of that.
Wow.
Rust me up some of that Hoppin' John.
Exactly. That's like those are things you only hear in the movies. Okay, so it's real.
You must put molasses in Hoppin' John.
Not molasses.
Molasses.
Oh goodness. Elisa Seeley is also here, and Invisible Bob joining Red Butterfly. Hello, Soror. How are you? One nice girl is from Harlem as well, and she's sending you greetings. I'm looking for
from the East Side, $11.99. What up?
$11.99. Yeah. Not the price either.
No, not the price. Not
Gina,
the price. But we did have a lot of 5411s back in the days. That was the price at the SNS parties. We had SNS used to do parties at our rec center. $11.99 used to give out 5411s to the first 100 girls.
Wow, I don't even know what that is, but it sounds delightful.
5411s are the Reebok classics that the girls.
Oh, wait, they gave them out?
They came out to $54.11.
Wow, and they were giving them out at clubs, you say?
No, not at clubs. At SNS, DJ SNS used to have parties in my building at our recreation center on 109th and First Avenue, and he used to give out 5411s to the girls, to the first 100 girls. I think it was first 100 girls. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Well, look at you running.
It seems like 100 is a lot. Maybe 50 girls. I don't know.
Because I'm adding up the $54.11.
Yeah.
Okay.
They used to film it for Video Music Box. Ralph McDaniels.
Oh, wow.
He used to come on. This is Ralph McDonald's, and we're at 1199 Plaza. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are some great memories. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any. They said there's no question box for, so
Okay.
I'm not seeing. I know some of you probably had questions here. Let's take one last question, if you don't mind, and then I'll let you go.
Nah, so good.
Okay. Well, I like to respect time, because if I
Yeah.
ask you to come back, then you'd be like, the last time you
No, I'm
held
having a
me,
good time.
10
I'm having a good
years.
time. I mean, we
Okay.
go a little bit longer, a little bit.
Okay. Well, this is going to be the last question. This is going to be the last question. Let's see. Derek asked this, and I think this is important. Are there any current actors who are influential in your career?
Roger E. Mosley was
Hmm.
he was a mentor of mine, the original TC. He was very instrumental. He became my mentor while on this show, gave me a lot of insight, and gave me ideas for things moving forward. So very instrumental. And I would say they're just friends of mine that, when we see each other moving forward, it makes me keep going, because this, yeah, like I said in the very beginning, you guys see the end product. You don't see all the hard work and the rejection. So when you're having a downtime and I turn on Invasion and I see Nidra McClyde and damn it, what's Nidra's last name? She just got married. Oh, sorry, Nidra. I forget the new last name. But Nidra is an incredible actress, and I get to see her. She makes me keep going. When I talk to a buddy of mine, Jamie Lincoln Smith, and he tells me that he won another award, doing another audio award by doing these audio books that he's been doing, or that he's doing the vocal coaching, or he's doing a short, or he's doing a web series, or whatever he got going on. I'm proud of that brother. Both me and Nidra and him, we did a play at the Billie Holiday for Jackie Alexander years ago, and that was how we all met. Actually, I didn't meet Mitra there, but I met Jamie there, and they're like really close friends of mine. Jessica Francis Dukes is another incredible actress that I'm just glad to know as a friend. And there's a few times when I felt I was having some imposter syndrome moments here on Magnum PI, and I talked to her, and she encouraged me and said, "Brother, you're incredible, and keep going. And I'm proud of you, and you need those moments. And you don't, people think that you're just fine and that you're perfect and you're ready for the world. And maybe Denzel Washington is that way. I would assume that he's like a Jedi of actors, but, sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, and it's seeing our other friends that are killing it out there. It's great to see, and we all need that pep talk. When I was on the set of The Color Purple, I remember having a conversation with Fantasia, and I was able to give her a pep talk in the moment. And it wasn't about me. It was, we have the same coach, Susan Batson, and I was speaking Susan's words were just coming out of my mouth to her, so it wasn't about, something that I had to give to her. It was just like, yo, this is your moment. You know what I mean? And I'm just glad that I was able to be the person to deliver that message. And those are just some of the influential actors, people that you guys don't necessarily know. My cast on Magnum. and just, you know, Zach Knight and people like that really help you move the ball forward. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I'm full. If this was a meal, I would be 100%.
I gotta give love, shout out to Jamie Hector. Jamie Hector, he was in town shooting a movie, and we had long conversations about how we should and could support one another in this industry. And he brought Little Rel out, and Little Rel came to my birthday dinner. And, you know, it was nice to have, you know, those brothers there. And what people don't know is I miss my people here. And those little moments mean way more to me than they do to them, because they go back to New York or LA where, you know, it's just like, oh, where we going for the weekend? Oh, we go to Jamie Foxx's house, he having a party, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah. I don't have that here. I'm going to the beach, you know what I'm saying, and just chill or whatever, and have some poke or whatever. But so shout out to Jamie Hector. Thank you, brother. It really meant a lot. We got to hang out, and I found a dope breakfast spot that he used to love anyway. So you know, he couldn't get rid of me. He was like, yo, I came to this joint like 3 more times without you. Wow. So, yeah. But anyway,
you need a food show. You need a food show.
I do.
Something to think about. Wow. This was absolutely amazing. I want to put up your Instagram, and hopefully this is right, because somebody asked what your Instagram is. So let's see. I think this is right. Is this correct? Stephen Hill ACTS on Instagram. Yep, it's the same thing on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. Same thing. And again, if you look at my IG, you know, I may not have many followers. I think it's IG. I think I'm like shadow banned or something. I think they really suppress the amount of people that will follow you, unless dudes are just that thirsty for women that show breasts in TNA. You know what I mean? So I don't have that many followers. Based on being on a show that has millions of people, you know, it's all relative, you know. Yeah, follow me, you guys, if you would like. And I like to think that my page, if it were a magazine, it would be interesting. You know? It's hella interesting. I really enjoy it. And to the contrary, in my eyes, you have a lot of... I probably need to take all that stuff off, so nobody. Oh, you missed your chance. You ain't gonna see. You ain't gonna see all of this stuff, all this content I got on here. Oh, too bad. Wait for the book to come out one day. So, well, is that something that's coming up soon? Tell us really quickly what you have coming up now that, well, it's not ending, because these shows actually live into infinity, because you can watch them anytime. In perpetuity. Yes, exactly. Yeah. But what other projects, I should say, do you have coming up? I got a feature, indie feature, that I'll be flying back to New York to shoot later this month with Eric Bronco. That's another guy that is a huge inspiration to me. We've started the game together, and now he's killing it, you know, winning Sundance 2 years in a row and all kinds of stuff, you know, but it's great to go back and work with him. And I've been working on a show. I can't say much about, and I'm just really hoping to get a green light on it. If not, I'll be heartbroken for a few days and then, you know, move on. But I'm hoping that we get a green light on this thing. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Again, it is not lost on me that you could be anywhere else, and you chose to come on MediaScope and grace all of us with your presence. So thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's great that I could have such a great candid conversation with you right before this finale of Magnum that comes on tonight. So please tune in. Check it out. Tune in tonight. Go see The Color Purple. Go see The Color Purple. I don't want to hear I don't like reboots, and I don't like musicals, and why they mess with Color Purple? That's a you can't be messing with The Color Purple. That's my favorite movie. No, right. Go see The Color Purple, yo. Other people
Don't be like, oh, I'm not. They doing Romeo and Juliet again. I ain't going to see no Romeo and Juliet. They should have messed with that. Oh,
you know that's
go
true.
See it, yo. Go see it. You know what I'm saying? We need your viewership because trust me, I went to see The Color Purple on Christmas Day and it was absolutely nobody in the theater. Everybody was going to see Aquaman because Aquaman looks like them here. So they wanted to see Aquaman. And that's fine. But I also asked them, hey, do you know The Color Purple? Are you guys going to see that? And they were like, what's that? You know why? Because they're in their algorithm bubble and we're in ours. So we can't even fathom that these people, that somebody else wouldn't know what Color Purple is because they're in that bubble. And so we have to burst each other's bubbles and understand that there's a greater world out there. And so how are we going to expect somebody else to do it if we don't support it ourselves? So please go see The Color Purple, not just because I'm in it, because Blitz Bazwule did it. And that brother is an amazing artist. He is like the Basquiat or whatever of our generation. Go see his work. If for nothing else, but then see Blitz's work. So please go see The Color Purple and tune in for Magnum PI tonight.
Right. And that is tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So in just an hour and some, you'll be in. It's a 2-hour special, right? It goes from 9 to 11. Please watch. And Magnum is actually very good. I loved the original Magnum. So I was like, it was nothing for me to gravitate towards this. So I am excited about this and I'm excited to see what else you do. Thank you so much. So guys, thank you. We're going to let you go. We have been here for a while now and we thank you for hanging on. And so with that, we're going to do this and I always end this way. I love you for watching. I bid you adieu. You guys, myself, Mr. Stephen Hill, and all of this great information, we're going to exit stage left. So so I'm not coming back till February, you all. So you're going to have to rewatch this until I come back. So
Kappa's out there. You.
Oh wait, are you a Kappa?
Yeah, brand
Okay,
new.
well,
I'm new to the bond. I'm only in maybe a month. I'm like a month into the bond.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Wonderful.
Thank
well,
you.
Crimson and Cream family. I'm a Delta. So
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and we did have red carpets for The Color Purple. So see, we supported.
The Delta show love. They show some love out here. There was a red carpet out here.
Yes. The chapter out there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that, this was enjoyable. Thank you so much. And I will see the rest of you all in February. Until next time, cheers.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you other way.